Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 dumb people who make you look like a genius. So, there are many geniuses in the world, but for every genius, there's 100 dumb people. Here are some of the stupidest people who made the biggest fails ever caught on camera. These are hilarious, but will make you facepalm at the same time, so check them out. But first, do a genius thing by subscribing and pressing the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have credit card. Many people use social media to show family highlights and milestones, and one big milestone for kids is when they get their first credit card. This shows they're finally growing up and getting independence. Well, one day a girl called Shannon's little brother named Dustin got his first credit card. It was a Christmas design Wells Fargo Visa. Of course she was excited and wanted to share her little brother's milestone, so she posted on Facebook Dustin's first credit card. "I'm so proud, you're growing up so fast." But here's where she messed up. She actually included a picture of his credit card in the Facebook post. Obviously this is a bad idea as it showed his card number, his sort code and account number. This now of course means that anyone can use his credit card. Even though she didn't show his PIN or any information like that, she did show a lot. And some shopping sites actually do allow you to pay with this limited information. Thankfully not everyone was as dumb as Shannon. One of her friends said thanks for dinner and my new car and everything on eBay. Now hopefully this guy's just joking, but the person underneath in the comments saw this was not a laughing matter and said, "Did you just post some kid's credit card number to Facebook?" This would be my reaction, as this is a crazy thing to do. We can only assume Shannon is a lot older, so she should know a lot better. Moral of the story is, guys, if you see anyone going near your credit card with a camera, stop them. Next up is cake. So when you're celebrating something, it's nice to have a cake, but some people give it an even more personal touch by attaching a photo onto the cake. Many bakers can actually print images onto cakes. For example, if it was your daughter's birthday, you could get a photo of her on her cake. One day, somebody wanted to put an image on a cake, so they gave the bakery a photo of the USB to put on the cake. However, when they got their cake back, they were shocked to see this. They told the bakery to put a photo on the USB onto the cake, but instead, the bakery put a photo of the USB onto the cake. As you can see, there's an image of the USB on the cake. I'm not sure who in the world would want a USB cake. I'm not sure if the bakery's trolling here or if they're really that dumb. Have you guys ever seen a food fail this big? And what would you do if you got a USB cake for your birthday? Next up is bad ad. So, advertising is a billion-dollar industry. Top marketing agencies are paid millions of dollars by their clients. But sometimes the ads they produce aren't exactly very good. Just take that Kylie Jenner Pepsi ad for example. That ad wasn't sensitive, but it wasn't exactly dumb. This advert on the other hand is very stupid. It's for a school which is all about learning. But it looks like whoever made this advert needs to go back to school because they're very stupid. As you can see, two girls appear to be using an iPad. But in case you haven't realized yet, that iPad sure is huge. Well, the reason for this is because it's a MacBook. I'm guessing the photographer didn't have an iPad handy, so instead he simply used a MacBook and pretended it was an iPad. He could have at least rotated the Apple logo to make it more legit, but instead these girls are simply looking at the bottom of a MacBook. Whoever hired these advertisers needs to fire them. Next up is locked. Have you ever lost your keys? If so, you know it's super annoying and you wish you could do anything to stop losing your keys. Well, one day a guy's girlfriend bought a brand new lock, but she was very concerned about the keys of the lock being separated and getting lost, so she did this. As you can see, the keys aren't going anywhere, but she also won't ever be able to open that lock. This is literally a huge waste of a lock and keys. Now all she has is a paperweight. I guess this was the exact moment the boyfriend realized he was going out with an idiot. Next up is shells. So this is another moment somebody realized they were going out with an idiot. However, this time it's a boyfriend instead of a girlfriend. One day a girl's boyfriend went on a spring break trip to Florida. The girlfriend couldn't come, so the boyfriend decided to bring her a souvenir back. He decided to collect some shells on the beach. He took dozens of seashells and put them in a jar and gave them to his girlfriend when he got back. Now you may think this is a very nice gesture, and it was a nice gesture, don't get me wrong. However, the girlfriend facepalmed when she saw that most of the shells were pistachio nuts. We all know pistachio nuts come in shells and people like to leave them all over the beach. Well, the boyfriend must have mistaken them for seashells and took them back in the jar. Now this is kind of sweet and was a nice gesture, but it does prove he's pretty dumb. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could all tell the difference between pistachio shells and seashells, but I guess this guy is one of a kind. Next up is no switch. So this is a time when somebody's girlfriend failed at technology. We'd expect old people to do this, but this girl is young, so she's got no excuses. One day she came over to her boyfriend asking about what the no on this switch meant. As you can see, it appears to say no, but to anyone who doesn't have a brain full of pistachio shells, you'll know that that's on upside down. You'd have thought she'd have noticed seeing as the numbers were all upside down too, but I guess some people just don't have common sense. What would you guys do if your significant other asked this? To be honest, I'd think they'd need a trip to the doctor's office. Next up is cable. So we all know how annoying it can be to get into certain packaging. Some packaging, especially technology packaging, just seems like they don't want you to get into it. Well, one day a guy's wife tried to unpack her new iPhone cable. She got very annoyed and frustrated with the plastic packaging, so she cut it with scissors. But as you can see, this didn't work out so well. She literally cut the entire top of her cable, making it useless. I have to say, this is a big waste of a cable, but I honestly don't blame her. We've all been there with these types of packaging before. I'm not sure if this photo shows her being dumb or the packaging being dumb. Oh well, 2.5 meters is way too long anyway, trust me. Next up is lunch. So if your wife makes you lunch, that's usually a nice thing. But one day somebody was trying to eat his cheese sandwich when suddenly something stopped him. As you can see, the wife who made his lunch didn't even remove the plastic cheese packaging. That's what you get for using that cheapo cheese. That cheese is bound to annoy any Europeans watching. But seriously, how did his wife not see this? Then again, that type of cheese does have a similar texture to plastic. That's how you know you probably shouldn't be eating it. Who knows, maybe this wife just wanted to keep the cheese fresh. The guy posted on Facebook saying, "Thanks for packing my lunch, babe." Either this wife is very annoyed with her husband or she's pretty dumb. Next up is on both. So we've already seen one very dumb cake decorator who made a USB cake. But here's a situation where I'm not sure if the cake decorator was trolling or is just plain stupid. Somebody ordered 2 cakes on the phone and said they want happy birthday written on both. So any normal person would have written happy birthday on one cake and then happy birthday on the other. But this cake decorator wrote happy birthday on both cakes. I think even the dumbest person would have been able to realize they didn't want it like this. And that is why I have a theory that the person who ordered this on the phone was just rude, so they wanted to get back at them. Let me know in the comments if you guys think this cake decorator is disgruntled or just dumb. Personally, I have no idea, but it did make for a very funny photo. Next up is cooling rack. So this is another example of somebody trying to do something nice, but failing miserably. One guy's wife always makes him cookies when he comes home from work. So one day he wanted to repay the favor. One day he made a bunch of cookie dough and put the cookies in the oven. However, instead of a pan, he used a cooling rack. For anyone with any baking knowledge, you'll know that this happens when you use a cooling rack. As you can see, all the cookies simply fell through. As it's his wife who usually makes them, she always puts the cookies on the cooling rack to cool down. He then sees the cookies on that rack every day and assumes that's what she bakes them on. But of course, this guy clearly isn't a very good baker. At least he tried and he did make his wife laugh. I just hope it wasn't her cleaning this up, as he definitely messed up their entire oven. Have you guys ever tried to do something nice and failed terribly? If so, let me know in the comments. Next up is headshots. One day a lady was doing a car insurance claim. Her car got damaged and she wanted to make a claim. So for proof, her car insurance lady named Eva asked her to take photos of her front, rear and side views. The mom did this and sent the pictures. But as you can see, she thought she was talking about images of herself, not her car. She texted the images and wrote, "That felt weird. Thanks Eva, hope those work." Eva then said, "Susan, you look very nice, but I need pictures of your vehicle, not you." I have to say, this is a very funny fail, but I'm not sure what Susan was thinking. I'm not sure why car insurance would ever want your headshots. I'm guessing Susan didn't have her morning coffee. Next up is anonymous. So this one was spotted in an Irish newspaper and it's very funny. Somebody was talking about real estate in the newspaper, but they wish to remain anonymous. Now, usually in newspapers when people ask to remain anonymous, they don't use their name. But as you can see in this Irish newspaper, the writer wrote Tom McEltron who asked to remain anonymous. Of course, this makes no sense as they literally included the guy's name. I guess this guy asked to remain anonymous, but his wish was not granted. One guy posted this to Reddit and wrote "Only an Island," and it went viral. It is pretty funny, but I can't help feel a bit bad for Tom. If you guys are ever in the newspaper, then give a fake name. You can always ask to remain anonymous, but like Tom, you can get denied. Next up is blurred. So this is another example of somebody wanting to remain anonymous in the news but failing miserably. One day an Arab news network was interviewing a family. They first interviewed a woman and blurred her face. They then moved on to the man and blurred his face. Now you may be thinking that's all fine, but in the background, as you can see, the woman's face was unblurred. I guess they were only thinking about the main subject and forgot this woman had already been interviewed. It's not like this woman's someone else. As you can see, she's wearing the exact same shirt as the woman before. And she's even sitting on the same sofa with the same curtain, so there's no doubt as to who this lady is. Next time somebody says your identity is safe with us, don't trust them. Or at least make sure you're not in shot when somebody else is being interviewed. Check out the poll in the top right corner and vote for the most hilarious dumb fail on this list. I think it's gotta be the credit card one, as that is so stupid. I just hope that kid didn't lose his life savings. If you want more awesome videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.